from WTVO 17 and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
It's truly amazing to be at this point in our pandemic response if you think back just a few months ago.
Illinois has new goals in the fight against COVID-19. Meeting those benchmarks means a move towards normalcy.
And fighting back against domestic violence, Rockford's top cop and advocates share how they're working with youth to make an impact.
Plus, there's no shortage of home buyers in the state line, but there is a lack of properties. We'll show you the historic numbers.
Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson. More Illinoisans will soon qualify to get the COVID-19 vaccine.
Governor J.B. Pritzker announced the changes today. Everyone 16 and older will be eligible for the vaccine April 12th. The governor says he plans to announce more eligible populations before then. By mid-April, Pritzker believes the state will have enough doses that we won't need to divide up the population into phases. Illinois is now averaging about 100,000 vaccines a day. Pritzker's announcement follows President Biden's call for governors across the country to open eligibility to all adults by May 1st. Taking a closer look at the vaccine distribution here in the state line. Nearly 12% of Winnebago County is fully vaccinated, with more than 90,000 doses given. Boone County's vaccinated the most at over 13% of the population, followed by Ogle, Stevenson, and Lee counties. Statewide, about 13% of the population is vaccinated.
That's important because today, Governor Pritzker said the state will fully reopen when half of the population has at least one vaccine shot. Right now, we're in phase 4. The governor outlined a bridge to phase 5. That will take 70% of people 65 and older getting vaccinated. The bridge includes more dining capacity outside, as well as going from 50 to 60% capacity at places like gyms, offices, salons, theaters, and meetings.
We have come so far, Illinois, and we have to go just a little bit further. Maybe we're in the 25th mile of this marathon, but we will stay motivated and we will keep going because the finish line is absolutely in sight.
You can watch the governor's entire remarks at mystateline.com.
Rockford's goal of becoming a top 25 community by 2025 is inching closer to becoming a reality. Today, Transform Rockford unveiled its community scorecard. The numbers measure the city against communities with similar populations and economies. Mental health, poverty rate, and higher education all saw gains, according to the group. 23% of the community now has a bachelor's degree. That's up from almost 21% 2 years ago. The number of people living in poverty has dropped nearly 2 percentage points. Moving forward, Transform Rockford leaders say diversity will play an important role in getting the city to its top 25 goal.
We've actually at Transform Rockford have prioritized belonging, diversity, equity, and inclusion. We want to see that throughout all the catalytic projects going forward. Some already had, but we've said it has to be core to everything we do so that it's not just words, but it's action.
One area the city needs to improve upon is the crime rate. The police chief tells our Michelle Rave the most problematic issue right now is domestic violence.
That's right, Mimi. Chief O'Shea says the domestic crime rate is up. However, they're working with organizations like the Family Peace Center to tackle this issue.
One thing that's remained steadfast and very problematic for us, which relates back to the community, is domestic violence. It accounts for about 35% of all of our violent crime every year, and that number hasn't changed.
Driving down those numbers, Rockford Police Chief Dan O'Shea says one goal is to stop domestic violence in the city.
So it's really been beneficial to have those police there so that in that space with advocates, they can meet with clients and begin to build relationships and trust.
The police department uses its own funds to support the Family Peace Center as well as youth programs, something Jennifer Ketchapalia, manager of the Mayor's Office of Domestic and Human Trafficking, says is needed.
60 to 75% of our violent crime in juveniles is committed by youth who have experienced domestic or sexual violence. These children are working out their trauma on our streets. And if we don't do more to interrupt that trauma as early as possible, we're never going to get ahead of our violent crime rate.
Ketchapalia says people are using the Family Peace Center.
It's encouraging to us to see more people feel safer to call and really get themselves involved and enrolled and starting the process to seek help to try to recover and remove themselves from that situation.
While it will be a long road to eradicate domestic violence, she and the chief hope these partnerships will make a lasting impact.
I look forward to this year driving down the crime and working on the partnerships with the community.
We have to make a hard and intentional, deliberate effort to reaching those children and providing them with long-term counseling, navigation, and support for them and the entire family.
Chief O'Shea says the COVID pandemic put a stop to many community programs, but he's excited for them to start again very soon. Eric.
Thank you, Michelle. We now know the name of the man hit and killed on Auburn Street over the weekend. A car hit 62-year-old Terrence Swain Saturday night at Auburn and Fillmore Street. Winnebago County's coroner says Swain died of blunt force trauma to his head and chest. The vehicle that hit Swain took off. Police are still looking for that driver. If you have any information, call the Rockford Police Department or Crime Stoppers. Rockford Police are also trying to find the driver who hit a man in a wheelchair early yesterday morning. 57-year-old Randall Starnes died at Swedish American Hospital's emergency room. He was hit just steps away from the hospital at East State and Summit. Police are looking for a gold or light-colored truck in connection with this crime.
Home buyers in the state line face a limited number of choices. Only 272 homes were on the market in February. Compare that with 830 homes during the same time last year. According to Rockford area realtors, that's the largest year-to-year drop in inventory ever. In all, 251 of those homes sold last month. The average price was up 11%, bringing in nearly $153,000. Realtors tell us most buyers are looking for an additional bedroom or office space.
Right now, if you're a seller, start talking to your realtor. What do you need to do to get that home listed? And be prepared to have that sold quickly or possibly even with multiple offers, because the market right now is so incredibly hot.
On average, homes took 37 days to sell.
A local church continues its mission to make sure no one goes hungry. City First Church in Rockford once again stacked up hundreds of boxes of food in its parking lot this morning. Car after car lined up. Drivers popped their trunks. Volunteers placed boxes full of produce, meat, and dairy inside. One of the church's pastors says the latest stimulus bill passed in D.C. continues to help the group help others.
The food supply is kind of up in the air every single month. Some months it's a little easier to secure food. Other months it's a little more difficult. So having these stimulus pass really helps the infrastructure just with food banks, not only locally, but really across the nation.
This is actually the 14th time City First teamed up with the Northern Illinois Food Bank. The partnerships handed out more than 103,000 boxes in the past year. Looks like the cold and snow are behind us. That has many families looking forward to spring. The Rockford Area Convention and Visitors Bureau encourages people to take a staycation for spring break. Ari Bruckman joins us with some ideas the agency shared. Ari?
Right, Eric. While some families plan out-of-state trips for spring break, this year, locals are encouraged to stay right here. After experiencing much of this school year from home, parents and students are probably looking for fun things to do over spring break. The RACVB will be highlighting local specialties like the Nicholas Conservatory and Gardens. On Saturday, their spring butterfly exhibit opens. The last time the butterfly were given free rein on the conservatory was 2019, since it shut down for COVID last year. Operations manager Lindy Twohills tells me this exhibit is fun for the whole family.
Little kids love it because it's butterflies. We also have koi fish inside the conservatory, which are always a huge hit with little kids. But then even all the way up to adults. I mean, we have adults that will sometimes stay here for an hour asking us all kinds of questions about butterflies, about caterpillars, about certain types of plants.
Families interested in visiting need to buy tickets online ahead of time. Coming up at 6, I'll take you to another local favorite you can visit this spring break.
First time in decades, Congress discusses a rise in anti-Asian discrimination and violence across the country.
An advocacy group says it's uncovered more than 3,500 reports of hate crimes since the pandemic began. Raquel Martin is keeping you connected to the nation's capital.
Lives are at stake following a spike of violence against Asian Americans during the pandemic. Thursday, a slate of Asian American lawmakers and scholars demanded Congress respond.
Families have had rocks thrown at them, Nurses have been spit on.
Democratic Congresswoman Judy Chu and Grace Meng and Senator Tammy Duckworth say divisive rhetoric from former President Trump and others,
the China virus,
brought on a surge of hate.
And your party can talk about issues with any other country, but you don't have to do it by putting a bullseye on the back of Asian Americans across this country, on our grandparents, on our kids.
Panelists say Congress must pass anti-Asian discrimination legislation to help stop the violence and reverse decades-old stereotypes depicting Asian Americans as foreigners. But while denouncing the violence, Texas Republican Congressman Chip Roy said it's not wrong to hold China accountable.
I think the Chinese Communist Party running the country of China, I think they're the bad guys. My concern about this hearing is that it seems to want to venture into the policing of rhetoric in a free society.
California Republican Tom McClintock called the hearing itself divisive.
To attack our society as systemically racist, so that's an insult.
The hearing was scheduled before 8 people were murdered in Atlanta massage parlors Tuesday. Law enforcement has not labeled it a hate crime. 6 of the victims were Asian American women. In Washington, Raquel Martin.
Now, your first warned weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, it has been a rather windy Thursday afternoon as winds gusting close to 45, even 50 miles per hour at times. But at least we were able to clear out from some of the cloud cover we had earlier today. A live look with our Mercy House Sky Track camera over downtown Rockford. We've got a couple of clouds as we look a little bit further to the south as that low pressure system departs us to our south, leaving us with a mostly clear sky as we go through this evening. But 44-mile-per-hour wind gusts now in Rockford and Monroe, 31 in Freeport, close to 40 in Rochelle. It is going to be a windy evening. Now, winds will ease up a little after about 9 or 10 o'clock, but we're still going to hang on to that breeze as we go through the night tonight. Sustained winds, just that constant wind between about 25 and even 30 miles per hour. But despite that wind direction coming in from the northeast, we've made good progress in our temperatures. Now, we still do have the wind advisory that goes until 7 o'clock this evening. That's when those strong wind gusts are expected to kind of ease a bit, but just know even after that, it is still going to be a bit windy. Temperatures in the upper 40s and low 50s, and that's where our numbers sit for our weather watchers. Our coolest temperature, Ken checking in with 44. Everyone reporting quite a windy evening out there. As we go through the night tonight, that temperature will drop down into the 20s. We'll drop down to about 27 degrees as we see the wind ease up a bit. Sunset this evening at 7:07, and it will be a beautiful sunset as high pressure continues to build in. It's pushing all of that moisture down to the south and southeast, where the rain showers have been pretty persistent across much of central and southern Illinois. So here we go with Futurecast, really just going to kind of run it through. We'll see clear skies going through the day tomorrow. That'll carry us into the weekend as high pressure continues to build in. In fact, beautiful looking weekend. We gain a few more degrees for tomorrow, getting into the 60s potentially by Saturday. Sunday we're in the 60s. But our next system comes in as that high pressure system kind of works off to the east late in the day on Sunday. So that'll help bring in a little bit more cloud cover. But that high pressure system to the north and that low pressure system to the south is kind of why we've had that strong wind for much of this afternoon. But as both of these kind of weaken a bit and lose their grip across the Great Lakes and Midwest, things will ease up. High pressure slides in here as we head towards the weekend, and this means temperatures will be warming up. We've got a lot of dry air coming in too, so we won't have to deal too much with the wind or really much in the way of any moisture. So temperatures back into the 50s as we head towards tomorrow, upper 50s on Saturday, and we top out in the low 60s on Sunday. 51 degrees tomorrow. Great night for football. You'll need to grab the jacket though, because as the sun sets tomorrow evening, temperatures will drop quickly, so it will be cool out there. 57 on Saturday. Spring begins. Gets a little breezy on Sunday. Might have to watch the burning on Sunday if you want to do some outdoor stuff, just because relative humidity will be low and the winds will be picking up too. But we do get a little bit more active, guys, next week, where we could see a few more showers.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with Sports Director Scott Lepper.
The women's NIT basketball tournament is set to get underway in Rockford tomorrow. The 8 teams in this region took the court today at the UW Health Sports Factory for practices. Our David Greenberg joins us now live from outside the Sports Factory. David, what's the scene like there?
Thank you, Scott. Yeah, as you said, I'm here outside the UW Sports Health Factory. This is the final day of practice before teams tip off in tomorrow's WNIT tournament. We have to stand outside, unfortunately, just not allowed inside. Only people allowed in right now are team members, tournament staff, and officials. They're trying to have everybody make sure it goes as smoothly as possible, ensure the safety of everybody involved. If you don't know a lot about the WNIT tournament, that's okay. I've got some more information for you. Let's start with its name, NIT. That stands for National Invitational Tournament, and it was started back in 1998 with 16 teams. Since then, the event has undergone 4 expansions, doubling to 32 teams, and eventually making its way up to the usual 64-team field. As a result of the pandemic, they decided to cut that number in half. 8 teams will play in 4 different regions, with each region's winner moving on to the Final Four in Memphis. The Rockford region consists of the Northern Iowa Panthers, Dayton Flyers, Creighton Blue Jays, Bowling Green Falcons, St. Louis Billikens, DePaul Blue Demons, University of Milwaukee Panthers, and the Drake Bulldogs. First game in Rockford starts tomorrow on Friday at 11 a.m. So, lace up those sneakers, tighten up that jump shot, because it's time for one thing and one thing only: the Women's National Invitational Tournament. Scott, I don't know about you, it feels like it's been forever since we've seen some postseason college basketball, so I guess I'll just say this: welcome back, old friend.
All right, David. Yeah, we were not allowed inside today, but we will be allowed inside tomorrow for some of the action. The general public, though, will not be allowed inside. Thank you so much, David. All right, now Mitch Trubisky is shuffling off to Buffalo. He has signed a 1-year deal with the Bills worth $2.5 million. It would seem he's content to be a backup next season because the quarterback job in Buffalo clearly belongs to Josh Allen. That's sports. We'll be right back.